Hello designers and welcome back to the Fusion 360 Explained by a Kid course. In today's video we will take a look at the interface Fusion 360 has. So let's load the program and get directly into it. Okay guys, so as soon as we load the program we will see a lot of things going on. So let's start breaking them down for you. The first thing we want to do is save the file. So to do this, we're going to head to the top left corner on your screen and tap the save icon. A window will pop up asking us the name of the project and where to save it. In this case, I will call mine Fusion 360 Basics by a Kid 1, but you can call yours whatever you want. Then we're going to choose the file location. Make sure you're saving it on admin project, and if you want, create a folder. To do this, tap on the new folder button and give it a name. I have already created mine, so I will just choose it. Once you've done all of this, click the save button and your project will be saved. Okay guys, now the next thing we will learn is how to move around the 3D plane. There are two options to do this. Now, the first way to do this is using the box there is at the right corner of your screen. If you hold press and start moving it, you can see how it will use a pivot to go around the 3D plane. You can also tap on the different sides of the box in order to be able to move from one 3D plane to the other. The second way to move yourself around the 3D plane is using the tools at the bottom of your screen. The good thing about them is that each one of them has a personalized shortcut. The first tool we have is the Orbit tool. It will help you have a quick look around a certain place you click. The shortcut for it is pressing Shift on your keyboard plus the scroll wheel on your mouse. The next tool we have is the Look At tool. We cannot use it right now because it needs for an object, but basically what it does is that it takes a quick zoom in on a certain point of an object. The next tool we have is the Pan tool. It allows us to move around the 3D plane while still holding the same point of view. The shortcut for it is pressing down the scroll wheel. Continuing to the right, we will find the Zoom In and Zoom Out tool. As in every program, the shortcut for it is the scroll wheel. Then we also have the Zoom Window, in which you select a certain place to zoom in and the program will take you there. If we continue, we will find the display settings. In them, we have multiple choices to make on how our screen looks. These are the ones I like. Then we have the grid and snaps settings. These again are a matter of personal choice, but these are the ones I use. I activate the layout grid, I activate the snap to grid mode, and these are my grid settings. Don't pay attention to the viewports as you will probably not need them. Okay, that's all for the settings. Now let's start working on creating our first shape. Firstly, we need to understand how creating a 3D shape works in Fusion 360. Firstly, you need to create a sketch in a 2D plane. Then use the Create tab to create the form you like. Then modify it, and if you want, assemble it to something. That's all you will need. As a beginner project, let's try making a box. Firstly, we will create a component to keep everything organized. To do this, right-click the name of your project and tap on New Component. We will call it Box. As you may have seen, our new component has been created. Now that we have our component, we can start working on the two-dimensional sketch. To do this, head to the top left of your screen and tap the Create Sketch option. Then choose the following plane. As you may have noticed, we have entered sketch mode. You should think of the sketch as looking your object from the top. In this case, as we're creating a box, we will create a square. To do this, press the Create Rectangle option and choose Center Rectangle. This will allow us to create a square. Right click and drag it as much as you like. Now we will set the dimensions for this square. To do this, go to Create, Sketch Dimensions. Tap each line and give it the dimension you want. In this case, I will just use 50. Just like that, we have finished our sketch. Click on Finish Sketch and we will head to the 3D plane. Now let's make this sketch come to life. To do this, go to Create, Extrude. Then choose this face and drag the arrow up. You can also choose a number to do this. In this case, as an example, I will put 50. Just like that, we have made our first cube. Now let's try to smooth out the edges. To do this, go to Modify and tap on the Fillet option. Then grab every edge you want to smooth out. Now as a number, I will set up 5, but you can do whatever you want to. Click enter and now we have our box finished. You may have noticed that something has been happening here at the bottom. This part is called the timeline. It is very important for your project. The timeline can be really useful. It can help us go back in time and change whatever we want from the design without having to delete everything. Let's say, for example, we want to change something in the sketch. To do this, we can just right click on the Sketch 1 feature and press on Edit Sketch. This will take us back in time to the moment where we created the sketch. However, as you can see in the timeline, the extrude and the fillet are still there. So let's say instead of a 50 by 50 box, we want to create a 25 by 25 box. We can just change the dimensions of the sketch and the whole box will change. Now if we tap on Finish Sketch, we will see the dimensions have been adjusted, but still the extrude has been done and so has the fillet. This is why the timeline is such an important tool, as maybe you will make lots of mistakes and don't realize them until later in the future. However, this doesn't mean you have to delete everything you've done and go back to the mistake. You can just head to the timeline and correct your error. You may have noticed there are also some arrows in the timetable. They really have no designing use, but can be pretty satisfying. For example, if you click here on play when being at the bottom of the timetable, you will see slowly how you have made your design. So maybe in designs like these ones I make, it can be pretty satisfying how everything is being built up. Anyways, that's just a little cool feature the timeline has. Now, the last thing you will learn in today's video is how to have a toolbar like mine. You probably had realized that our toolbars are probably different. That's because I pin in the toolbars the tools I use the most. For example, if I want the loft tool to be displayed on this toolbar, I will go to the three dots that are here and click on Pin to Toolbar. As you may have seen, the loft command is now on the toolbar. This way I have an easier access to all the commands I use frequently. Moreover, I can also create shortcuts for them. To do this, head again to the three dots and this time go to Change Keyboard Shortcut. You can use any key you want. In this case, I will use the L key. Now unfortunately, I also use this one with line, so I have to change it. Maybe Shift plus L should work out. Perfect. Now I will click on OK, and every time I tap Shift plus L, the loft command is executed. Okay guys, so that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please remember to like and subscribe. It really helps me out a lot. So yeah, goodbye designers!